ready to be done for sure. This part is not fun, but I'm ready to get that buckle.
My name is Kara Molitor. People call me the Unicorn Runner. I have completed 4 100-mile races. I am a sponsored athlete for Grab the Gold. They make a delicious gluten-free snack bar. The first year that I attempted Tunnel Hill 100, ultimately I DNF'd at close to mile 80.
What do you remember most about that race?
I think a second. What I remember most about Tunnel Hill 100 ultimately is failing. I don't like failing things. I like to finish things that I start. I'm a very determined person. So that was my first DNF. I had been running for, I think, almost 10 years. Finished all of the races that I started. And that was the first one I didn't finish. And that hit really hard. So the Tunnel Hill 100 course is flat. I mean, it sounds like it would be the easiest race, but for some reason, flat races, flat 100s, haven't quite been my thing. So this year, the night before at the pre-race dinner, they had a special speaker, which was Laz. And if you've ever heard of the name Laz, he's a famous race director of the Barkley Marathons. So it was really cool to get to listen to him speaking the night before. He gave a great speech on pacing a 24-hour 100. So I really listened intently for his advice.
So without further ado, please welcome Gary Cantrell. I really think in the 100, the most important thing is not your nutrition plans, and it's not the hydration or your shoes or your gear or anything else. It's how you pace it. Mid-70s, Kevin Woodward, the great Kevin Woodward, broke the 100-mile world record, and he broke the 50-mile world record the same day. He was the first guy to run under 12, and I believe that he ran under 5 hours for the 50 mile on the way. The pacing strategy then was you go out hard as hell and then hang on. Of course, nobody walked, because when you hit the point that you walked in a go out fast and hang on strategy, the next stage was you were smoldering wreckage beside the road. Do your 24-hour jobs. They won't all be 4.167 adapted. Adapt that basic principle to the distance you want to run. But wherever the miles per hour falls, don't go over the next mile above, don't go under the next mile below. Because even pacing is proving out. It's like the difference between the Fosbury clock and the old forward high jump. And the difference between the straight on flat shoe field goal kicker and the soccer style kicker. Those sounded crazy when people first did them, but only the old people remember what the other one looked like.
So race morning, I felt really good. I slept decent the night before, I would say, but I was nervous and just ready to go, ready to get to that start and start this race.
37 degrees. It's cold, but it's not terrible. Right now it's okay, but I'm sure later it's going to feel terrible. This is better weather than it's been.
Look behind you, there's Laz.
So you're looking for the secret that got me here. Some kind of magic ingredient that takes you there.
Yeah.
Well, you just keep showing up. You just keep showing up. You just keep showing up.
So we get to the race start, and there again was Laz, and walked up to him and said hi, and I thought it would just be kind of a quick hi, maybe get a picture with him, and he ended up talking to us for probably a good 5 minutes or so.
Should be good weather today.
There's no wind and no precipitation.
Yeah.
That's a nice change.
Yes, yes. The last time I did it was, I think, like 17 degrees overnight, so this will be much better. I'm excited, so.
Well, still all that stuff sitting out here.
Yeah.
Too much stuff.
Well, stay warm today and enjoy the day.
Yeah, I think well, one of those buildings is open. There's something open you can go in.
Yeah.
It's best I remember.
Just as long as you don't go in there and stay in there. That's what I did the first year. I went into one of those buildings and I sat down and I didn't get back up, so I'm not doing that again. Not this year.
It's good to sit, but just only briefly.
Yes, that's my plan this year, so this is going to be a different year.
It was good talking to you.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you for
luck
letting
today.
us have some of your time this morning.
Get out there and do that sub 24.
Yeah, I'm ready to get this one finished. I know, for sure. Thank you so much.
So that was really special and great to just to listen to his stories and his advice the morning of. So it kind of just all settled everything in. It was a perfect start to the race.
Oh my gosh, look at the dog in the little sweater. He's so cute. Look at him. Oh my gosh. And he looked at me too. Can we go pet him? I didn't try to pet him.
Yeah.
Huh? So where does it loop around?
I'm not sure. It's a ceremonial loop around. No, I'm not really sure. Alright guys, so I'm at Tunnel Hill 100. I'm about 6 or 7.25 miles in. The weather is great this morning and feeling good so far. Also, I unicorn glittered again today for this race. Feeling festive and fun. I was feeling super great. I remember coming through a wooded area, and it was just, the trees were beautiful and it looked like fall colors, and I was listening to my Christmas music, which I listened to most of the race, quite honestly, and you guys may think that's crazy, but I love Christmas music. It makes me happy and positive, and I kind of just would zone out and just listen to it, and yeah. I am on one of my walk intervals right now. I learned my lesson, and this time I will be doing intervals, and yeah, just feeling great so far, and keep it up. Check back in later. I was still doing my intervals of 2-mile run, easy run, and then I would do a half-mile walk. And so I just was continuing to do that and reminding myself that I needed to be patient. It's hard that early on in a race to be patient when you're doing intervals like that, because everybody is literally passing you. Everyone. I felt like I was in the back of the pack and I was never going to finish this race. But I remember just reminding myself, like, you have to be patient. You had a plan. You have to stick with it. And then just remembering the night before of Laz's speech and the way that he was talking about executing a perfect 24-hour race. All right, so we're getting ready to enter one of the famous tunnels up here ahead. So the next part of the race, I remember coming into the famous tunnel of the Tunnel Hill 100, and that tunnel is just a really long, dark tunnel, and you can't see anything, and so you usually don't have, it's during the day, you don't have your headlamp on or anything like that. All right, entering the famous tunnel. Just try not to trip and fall in here. Might have to walk. Some people will use their phones to light the path. I actually had just turned my camera on and was looking through the view of my phone camera to watch where I was going, but I would look away for a second and just see how dark it was beside me. I couldn't see a single thing. Like, it was so dark in that tunnel, and your eyes start focusing toward the light at the end of the tunnel, whereas I guess that's where that, the light at the end of the tunnel comes from. And I remember thinking, like, literally you have tunnel vision because you can't see anything, and it just feels so strange, and you just see a light at the end. I remember still just feeling excellent. Felt like my day was going exactly as I had planned. I felt great. So after I made it through the famous tunnel, you get to the Tunnel Hill Aid, which is 40.3 miles into the race. I decided there that it was really important that I change my socks and take care of my feet early on, so I didn't end up with any extreme foot issues like I had at Yeti 100. I remember coming through there the first time when I was doing Tunnel Hill, and the part I remember the most was at night when Marla was pacing me, and she told me to look up at the stars. It was so open in that area, and she told me to stop, Kara. She said, look up at the stars, like, look how beautiful it is. Like, no matter what's going on right now, like, don't forget this moment.
So it's time to take a second to do that. I don't know if you can see them. Probably not, but beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
So I would say up until mile like 75 or so, I felt like I was having one of the best races I have ever had in a 100-mile race. I just felt like I was on that like runner's high. Like, how am I still doing this and feeling so great? But I knew my next point was I needed to make it to the 76-mile aid, where I picked up my boyfriend, Will, who was going to be my pacer. So we left the 76-mile aid at Vienna Park, and we were headed back out to Tunnel Hill Aid. The thought of getting this race finished and finishing it in 24 hours was huge. That felt like I was checking off 2 boxes, and I was so excited about that and so determined to get that done. So it was definitely disappointing when I started falling off pace. there about 80 miles in because I was so close. I was within I knew if I could continue on doing my intervals that I probably could get it done. So it was really tough kind of letting that go, knowing that like my body wasn't really holding on to what I needed it to do. I remember still running. I think we did maybe a couple more intervals, and then I really fell off pace. I started feeling really nauseous all of a sudden when I was running, so I started walking, and then the walking really quickly, I started feeling like I was going to be sick, and then I started dry heaving. I've never gotten sick in a race like that, so it was not fun. And all I could picture was like, this is how the rest of my race is going to go. I'm just going to start getting sick and not be able to stop it. So I got really nervous at that point because I was so far into it and doing so well, and so it just felt like, come on, like this is really going to happen right now. On top of everything else, like I was doing so well, and now there's no chance of 24 for sure. After that point, just trying to get back to the aid station again to figure out what I needed to do next. I came into that aid station and knew I definitely needed a few more minutes this time. As much as I hated taking that long of a break, I knew that this was a very important point of me kind of gathering myself together and making sure I took care of myself so that I would actually finish the race, because that's what this stuff can do if you don't take care of it when you need to. So I got some soup and I sat down in front of the fire for the second time. But this time I sat there and I closed my eyes, and I was so tired, nauseous, and I just felt like I could have just fallen asleep when I closed my eyes. Like I just was like, let me just close my eyes for 5 minutes and just fall asleep right now. And I remember just thinking, like, this is getting so hard. Like, how am I gonna do this? I know I'm going to do this. I'm not gonna quit.
I'm getting happy. I really want to finish. I've been waiting years to come back here and do this. I need this finished. I need to get it off my mind.
Hey, Kara, when it gets tough, you gotta get going. You gotta get mad. You gotta get really mad. You can't give up. You gotta go all the way.
You can. Kara, you can. I know you can. And I'm right behind you. I mean, you may not see me, but my prayers are there, and you are going to do a good job.
I'm not ready to do 100 Super break.
Nobody wants to feel that point in a race because you feel on the edge of wanting to quit, and you have to pull yourself up and out of that chair and keep going. And I found that it doesn't get any easier. At all the hundreds I've done, I reach that point somewhere in the race, and you have to get yourself up and keep going. And you know it's going to be hard, you know it's going to take a long time, and you know it's going to hurt so bad. But when you think about what's on the other side of that, reaching the finish line, getting that buckle, and accomplishing a goal that you set for yourself after training for months and months for something, it's worth it. Just get yourself out of the chair when that happens. And I finally got my buckle.